I want to grow my own shit.
It's that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma.
DC Pharma Show.
It's that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma. Shay! Used to get my piece from AZ. Mary Jane is the case that they gave me. Trips from the West Coast stop real fast. DC Pharma show the masses how to grow grass. No till the method, be attentive, slow learner. The raw sheets turn that gas to a slow burner. Big Worm got the strains in variety. Jeff Sessions trying to fuck up the society. Cannabis community, rise up, eyes up. Fight for your right to light or eye shut. Loud from the motherland, I'm getting high in stadium. Super gas, no clone, it grown with vibranium. Trichome chasers, council of the grower. Self-sufficiency, that's how we need our smokers. Alien dream, turn Girl Scouts into soldiers. Smoking doja. Contact if you come closer. Every Monday, 10 to 11 p.m. Focus on that grow, watch the show with your BM. Comedy, but interviews, real lit. The DC Pharma Show, educate real shit. The DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma Show. It's that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma Show. It's that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma Show. It's that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma Show.
What up, y'all? It's your boy DC Pharma. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of the DC Pharma Show with my co-host Big Worm.
What's going on, man?
And we also got Stoner 202 with us today.
Yo, what up, cuzzo?
I guess today I want to touch bases on a few things. Well, I'll do a quick run through about controllers and automated systems in your grow room real quick before we get our guest going on today. And with that being said, our guest for today is going to be Princess P. And we also have Henny the Stoner in the building, y'all.
All right.
And I'm also blessed with the presence of DC Scrogger in the live audience today, too.
Uh-oh.
So that's always a blessing. But, I wanted to talk about controllers, right?
You have some good news, right?
Yeah, I definitely do. Reached out to this company called, if you can, go ahead and put the website up there now, called Trollmasters.agro, grow or whatever, something like that. But they deal with automated technology for your room or whatever, controllers to control your environment in your growing facilities, however you may be growing. But, these guys, I actually reached out to them, wanted to test their equipment out, before even, buying it or anything. I don't know how they was going to get at me with that, but they actually reached out to me and said, man, we'll give you a whole setup.
Damn.
So they're going to set my whole room up. They're going to I'm going to have the CO2, my mini split's going to be controlled through there, the fans, the humidifier, what am I missing? The blue mats, what else? Exhaust fans. All that's going to be controlled with a push of a button pretty much.
And all you did was ask a question, huh?
Yeah, I reached out to the company, man. You never know until you try. I mean, you got to reach out to these people, man.
You got to.
Don't never sell yourself short, period. Like, if you're interested in something, you see something that catches your attention and you want to be involved,
Yeah.
and you might be short of a little cash, man, that don't mean you stop there. You got to climb over that hurdle, man. You got to think outside the box. So for me, what I did, I just reached out to the company and told them, this is what I'm doing. This is where I'm at on my setup. And I think you guys can get me over the goal line. I promote you, you guys promote me. So, that's how it works out, man. That's how it worked out with this company. So they got these, like I said, you can even control all your controls through your cell phone or your smartphone or whatever, right? You can call it a cell phone. But you can control the temperature, the lights, the humidity. All this can be controlled through your phone too. So it's definitely look like it's gonna be looking like a great grow operation.
It's definitely super exciting. You can look at your phone and check your temperature in your room, see
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
going
yeah,
on.
yeah.
You got that right on your phone anytime. You ain't got to go to the room, to do that. So Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I mean, and
Congrats, my nigga. That's dope.
pretty much I was still gonna go the gorilla way, you know, hand watering and all that, which I'm still do, but you know, like it's good to have this technology now and use it to your benefit, man, because you can't always be in your room when you want to be. So
You got an assistant. That's dope.
yeah, definitely. And now that we talking to you got something for us today?
Yeah, man. You know me. I be running around the internet. So what I did, right? I found 3 influential people in the cannabis industry. So, you know, I ran across this dude, Donnie Anderson. Homie kind of dope. He's one of the co-owners of the Western Caregivers in L.A. It's a dispensary, right? So in 2015, he was appointed chair of the NAACP California-Hawaii Cannabis Task Force. He's a founding board member of the California Growers Association, a co-founder of the Southern California Coalition, and chairman of the Minority Alliance. Second person I ran across was Dr. Dina. Dr. Dina's kind of dope because she be giving Snoop Dogg his prescription. She's the inspiration for the Weeds TV show. Like, she's super dope. And then, you know her? Yeah, man.
I actually seen a couple photos. I seen a couple of interviews with her and all that. Never really got a pleasure to meet her, but
Jason Beck, yeah.
yeah. So what's the run? I mean, what's she doing now? What's the rundown on her? You know?
Right now she's in a TV show. She got a hosting TV show. I think it's Top Shelf with Dr. Dina.
Okay.
So, you know what I'm saying? I guess she in production of that right now. Couldn't find too much more other than that on her. So, you know, and then my third person was this young lady I found, Rosa Cesares. She's the CEO of Oregon's largest dispensaries chains, La Morta. She got a workforce that consists of about 80% women, which I found was super dope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then she holds a position on the Oregon Liquor Control Commission's Technical Admissions Subcommittee, which she has the power and some say so in what happens within the cannabis industry in Oregon. So,
and you know, shout out to the women's in the cannabis industry making their presence known for sure. You know what I'm saying? So we got a busy show today. So we're gonna move it right along.
Moving along the women in the industry.
Yep.
Hey.
With that being said, that was your 3 influential people, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's a great leadway into our next guest, which is Princess P. We're gonna have her talking. She's actually the 2017 Topical Palms winner. Am I saying that correct?
Yeah, Topical Balm.
And we're gonna have her in here today to talk about that. You know, talk about topical palms, what they are, how they're beneficial to us and our bodies and all that. So with that being said, please give me 2 minutes. We're gonna go on commercial break. We're gonna set all these mics up, and we're gonna have Princess P on stage with us.
All right. Be right, y'all. Peace back.
This is how to grow grass. No till the method, be attentive, slow learner. The raw sheets turn that gas to a slow burner. Big worm got the strains in variety. Jeff Sessions trying to fuck up the society. Cannabis community, rise up, eyes up. Fight for your right to light or eyes shut. Loud from the motherland. I'm getting high in stadium. Super gas, no clone, it grown with vibranium. Try coke chasers, council of the grower. Self-sufficiency, that's how we need our smokers. Alien dream turn Girl Scouts into soldiers. Smoking doja. Contact if you come closer. Every Monday, 10 to 11 p.m. Focus on that grow, watch the show with your BM. Comedy, but interviews, real lit. The DC Pharma Show, educate real shit. The DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma Show. Is that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma Show. Is that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma Show. Is that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma Show. Roll
All right, y'all, we back. We got why don't you go ahead and let the people know who you are. We got Princess P with us today. Let them know about you, where they can reach you, and what you do.
I'm Princess P. I am co-owner of Cannabis DC, and I make topical balms and medicinal tinctures for people. You can reach us on Instagram at Cannabis DC or on my herbalist page at Princess P Apothecary.
At Princess P Apothecary, and that's your Instagram, right?
That's my Instagram,
Okay.
right?
And you were the 2017 topical what
Topical
was it?
balm winner for the
Topical palm winner.
DC Capital Cup last year. Yep.
Now, how was the competition?
I have no idea. It was all anonymous, so
It was-
everything was already like submitted before the event. It was all like blind. I had to submit
Right.
like 10 samples, and so did everybody else. And then they announced it the night of the event.
I think that was
So-
at least out of four
I think
entries
at
at least.
yeah.
Okay.
So we'll make your product so special. I get a headache, I can rub it on my head. I'll be all right tomorrow. Like,
It does work for headaches. It's really versatile. It kind of works for any sort of like muscular skeletal pain. It doesn't usually do as much for nerve pain on its own, but if it's paired with something else, then it might. What makes mine different from a lot of other people's is that it's not just infused with cannabis, it's infused with 15 other herbs and like 6 essential oils on top of the cannabis. So this jar that I have here on the table, this is actually all of the herbs that goes into it before cannabis even goes into the batch at all.
Okay. Can you give us a rundown of everything? I see cinnamon in there for sure.
Yeah, so I'm probably gonna forget some, but the full list is actually on my Instagram somewhere. But it's nettle, rose hips, calendula, white willow bark, devil's claw root, turmeric, ginger, sage, cinnamon, and I'm probably yarrow. I'm probably missing a couple of other things, but it's 15 total.
And these are all the ingredients. Everything's natural and organic, pretty
100% natural or organic.
Right.
Every herb that's in it is certified organic or grown by us, and either sourced from a local herb shop, Blue Nile Botanicals, or an organic American company called Mountain Rose Herbs,
Okay.
or grown by us.
much. No, that's definitely cool, and I mean I like, because this is like a medicine or what they call it, holistic medicine.
yeah, so let's
Yeah.
yeah.
So it actually, a lot of people that like work in that side of the industry would call it traditional medicine
Mm-hmm.
instead of holistic, because people tend to not take you as seriously when you say
Right,
holistic
right.
medicine. But if you go to slide 1,
Let me see on the computer up here. Yep. Okay.
no, the one before that. So cannabis was used for medicinal purposes before there was recorded history. And the earliest written reference is in 15th century Chinese medicine. If you go to the next slide, History B. So this is just kind of a really quick rundown of cannabis laws in America, or cannabis history in America. So from early 1600s to like mid 1800s, it was primarily just used in America for hemp or like industrial purposes. And then in the early 1800s, it doesn't go into a lot of detail in this post, but there was basically a doctor from America who traveled to India, was really fascinated by the medicine that they were using with cannabis indica, which was not grown here before that.
Okay.
So he brought that over. So it was a very commonly used medicine from the mid 1800s until 1920s in America, and was
Right,
usually
right.
just sold over the counter. So then when recreational use amped up, then prohibition came into effect and people had to stop selling it.
Right. Right.
But before that, it was used all the time.
And that's the sad part about it, because I do remember those times where they were making all types of elixirs and cure-all type medicines, but a lot of them had cannabis infused in it as well.
Yep. So if you
And,
go to the next slide.
It's just sad to see that kind of dwindle down, and hopefully with everything being legalized now, to pick back up to where it left off before.
Exactly. So if you go through, you can just scroll through them. D, E, F, G, H, and I. Those are all just pictures of like early hemp farming, old antique medicine bottles that had cannabis on it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is part of our history, but it's not something that we're ever really taught.
Right. It was buried.
Right.
Look at that tinctures. They was
That
doing
tincture,
tinctures
right?
then, right?
Yeah.
There's that little bottle.
Exactly. So that's a really old bottle right there because it wasn't even labeled with a pharmacist or anything.
That looks familiar. It looks like now.
Right. Right.
You look
Exactly.
at some. You look at some of these tables and shit, man.
Exactly. So, if you go to use 2, so this is just like a list of all the uses that you can use from cannabis. So, because you guys talk a lot about growing and the recreational aspect of it, but THC, or from the flower of it, has medicine, recreational, sacrament usage, and then all those things on side of it are the other purposes that cannabis serves.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, man, like I said, I hope the way things are looking, eventually cannabis is going to be legalized in all 50 states. And with that comes all these old, you know what I'm saying, everything that used to be ropes, everything open back up.
Right,
the floodgates
so-
get open for that again. So
I often tell people
Plastic
like
may
when
get
you're talking
replaced.
about medicinal use or recreational use or industrial use or religious use, none of those things are mutually exclusive. So and that's a big problem in the, I guess, cannabis community as it's legalizing, is that you've got people like, I'm just using, for example, like Mitch McConnell introducing to finalize the hemp bill. So he totally supports industrial hemp, but I'll bet if you asked him about recreational use, he would say, oh, absolutely not.
Right.
So none of these things are bad, and they're all not mutually exclusive. So if you go to use 5, so when I'm explaining the different herbs that are in my topical, for example, I explain that they have each one has different medicinal uses. So terpenes is something that a lot of people talk about with cannabis because each terpene has different medicinal properties, but that's not just a cannabis thing that a lot of people don't understand. Like myrcene, for example, it shows what it's good for over there, anti-inflammatory and sedative, and that comes from thyme, but it's also in cannabis. So when you mix all of those different medicinal herbs together on top of cannabis, then you're giving it kind of like a jump start in your system. You're giving it more than a full spectrum of benefits other than just using cannabis.
Nah, that's cool. And like you said, it's not just for cannabis, and it, I believe, what's the other, is the neem tree? That's used for everything. The leaves, the bark, the roots, medicinal purposes.
Right. So every part of the cannabis plant actually has some form of medicinal or nutritional use. From the roots to the stems to the leaves to the flowers, literally every part of the cannabis plant has a medicinal or health use. So if you go to topical 1, slide 3.
So one thing I think is super exciting about the topical, it is purely medical. It won't get you intoxicated. We say it's approved by grandmothers because you can use it. Anybody can use it. If you're in a prohibition area, it's not going to show up on a drug test. If that's a concern for you for work, you truly can use it any and everywhere. So
Now, is that something like, let's say modern medicine today, would that be something considered like Bengay? If you have
something like that. And actually, we can come back to those two later or whenever. But if you actually skip to CBD versus FS3. So when people talk about modern medicine, most modern medicine comes from a history of plant use. That's the other thing. So a lot of people talk about that when it comes to CBD, because often it comes up when I talk to people about topical bombs. They talk to me about the difference between CBD isolate and full spectrum CBD, which includes all the cannabinoids. When you start, so willow bark is a really good example of this. So willow bark is actually the root of modern day aspirin.
Okay.
Aspirin is created from willow bark. So aspirin has done really great things and helped a lot of people, but there's also a lot of people who have aspirin allergies who can die from aspirin. And willow bark, there's only been one recorded death from it ever in all history, and it's been used since before recorded history. So people, even if you have an aspirin allergy, can usually use willow bark. So I actually have somebody that uses my topical balm who is allergic to aspirin and uses the topical with no problem.
That's cool.
Because once you start taking the chemical compounds out of the plant, you're going to respond. Some people can respond to it differently. So yes, it is like modern medicine as far as Bengay, but it's natural and not extracting individual chemicals from it.
Yeah, I mean, it really does work. As far as any type of sore muscles, we gave it to some bouncers after they worked out. They said it, even after it made their recovery quicker or whatever between workouts. So,
yeah, can you go to the one right after that? So they actually have been doing a lot of really cool studies in Israel about CBD specifically, like some of the most in-depth studies that we've ever actually had come out. And they determined that, like, they verified that full spectrum CBD extracts had a higher level of effect on patients. And they didn't have to have high levels of THC, but they did have levels of THC because your body absorbs CBD best when it's like partnered with THC. So when people ask me if I use CBD in the topical, yes, but I use full spectrum plant extract because it's better for you and it works.
Now, not to get off track, right? Now, I heard you mention Israel, right?
Right.
Now, what is the relationship with, because this is kind of a little bit off track, but what is the relationship with cannabis and the country of Israel?
So I'd have to look up their specific laws.
They definitely have been medical for a very long time.
Yeah.
So they've accepted, I don't know the year, but they've accepted medical use for quite some time. They've accepted medical research for quite some time.
And I asked because my outlook of
They're
Israel is
very
like a
green.
very conservative, though. Like, they seem very like a very conservative country. And I don't know. It's just
isn't-
surprising.
They
like,
are
only in
progressive on
America
some
is this
things,
a
though.
conservative versus liberal issue. It's
no, I
not
mean
but you know what I
conservative
mean?
as their upbringing, not
Right,
not
I
as in
understand what I'm
political
saying.
views, but as in like.
But it's not a political view to them. It is
you know,
here,
like,
and that's the problem.
I think
Right.
that view is really more, American or whatever. We made it
An issue.
an issue.
Right,
like
right,
that.
right. And it's still stigmatized around the older generation. Go ahead, man. Squawker, go ahead, man.
Israel, there is no more studies that need to be done on the plant. We don't need to research the plant any longer.
Huh.
Israel has the studies. They've been doing the studies.
For years, right?
40 years.
Right.
40 plus years they've been studying the plant. Actually, ASA is tomorrow. Americans for Safe Access. I met Professor Luf Hans, who discovered the endocannabinoid system at ASA a few years back. Israel's super hip on the plant. They are not only studying and discovered the endocannabinoid system in CBD. Right now, over this last year, CBN has been heard about. Sebastian Lufhan's understudy is a friend of mine. He told me about CBN 2 years ago.
Right.
I asked them about the new studies, what's coming, what's the future, and what do we need to know about. And they are the leading studies. You're right. Israel has the blueprint,
And that's why I
and the
brought that up
research.
about them, because to me, I view them as a conservative country, but for them to be able to point out the positive of the plant and not look at it in a negative light, but also see the medicinal value in it.
Yeah, they do the research.
Right, so just from an intelligence standpoint, if something should be illegal, there should be just cause behind it. So in order for it to be illegal for something, like for example here, because it has no medicinal purposes, you can't prove that true or false without research.
Exactly.
So it's
That's
like I
why
said,
the
it's not a
ban on
political
research
issue,
was-
it's an intelligence issue.
Right.
Do we want to do this thing or do we not? Let's research it and find out.
Right.
Last week, a bill was introduced to withdraw the ban of medical and university institutions to be able to research the plant without having to worry about their federal grant money.
Exactly.
That was introduced last week. You mentioned the hemp bill that was introduced. There's another bill that was introduced. There's three bills in the last month. You need to pay attention. Legalization is it's rapid. It's coming forward. And Mitch McConnell, he's chief of finance. He's the money. In order for legalization to happen, they have to tackle the money. And that means that banking and insurance. How is your insurance company going to pay for your meds if they can't federally take the money? So get hip, yo. Pay attention. It's moving forward.
Yeah, if you follow us on Facebook at Cannabis DC, we try to share every new bill that's coming out, because even though we're in DC and can't contact representatives, most of you can. So do that to support bills.
Yeah, Underground Organics was saying 1965 was when Israel started research, and he was saying
1965.
He was saying a lot of the cannabis was American
Right.
grown, so we shipping them cannabis to
Right.
test.
We shipping them to
Right.
test, but we refuse to test it ourselves.
That's just perfect. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. So, But yeah, for sure. So I think that's awesome. We always talk about sustainability. Israel also, by law, they have to have solar-powered water heaters. So your hot water heater in your house uses more electricity than anything.
Right.
So they know that. So they have the efficient ones that the pipes run through their either roof or ground to absorb the heat. So they do some cool stuff over there. Then they probably do a lot of non-cool stuff too. As far on a couple notes,
there's a few things they need to work on
right now.
But a true bill, man. I just love the fact that a lot of countries now are opening up their eyes to it. Cause man, just imagine if this plant would never stop in its stopped in the progress of.
Back in the 30s.
You know what I'm saying? Inventions and discoveries and real medicine that could help. We probably could have the cure for cancer by now, man.
We probably do.
No bullshit.
We've totally
right?
wasted years. Absolutely.
So you also, I know you've been having a lot of success for some of these modified tinctures you've been doing for anxiety and pain.
Yeah. So primarily, I'm a medical user primarily. So tincture was working really, really well for me for my chronic pain issues and things. So I would pair the tincture with the topical balm, and it was working great. So then but herbal tinctures, because I also had been making those for a while, like for colds and flu and whatever. Like that's a common herbalist practice. So like in Natal, most parents would make medicine and grandmothers would make medicine for their families. So it occurred to me one day that why am I not mixing these two together like I did for the topical balm? So I mixed a bunch of herbs that help anxiety together and mixed that with half CBD and and then 1 part sativa and 1 part hybrid. And as it turns out, it has these wonderful calming effects that you need for anxiety, but it still gives you energy like a sativa would. So it basically gives your body the same reaction that you would have from a really low dose, like benzodiazepine or something. And then I used the same herbs that were in the topical balm, mixed that with a half CBD tincture and half 9-pound hammer tincture. And that combo together has been amazing for my pain. We recently agreed to come up here and hang out at Listen Vision twice a week for 10 hours a day. I can tell you that a few months ago, I wouldn't have even considered that. So,
definitely working good.
Definitely works.
Nah, cool. And before we let you go for the night and get to our next guest, I know you have some giveaways for us or whatever. So, don't you let the people know what you got?
Yeah, so I have a large topical balm for somebody in the audience who actually came in hoping to win a topical balm. Okay, honest to God, I'm so flattered that this many of you came in because I figured there'd be one of y'all. So all of you can have a medium one for sure, and I will bring you one. And then randomly, Stoner is gonna pick somebody to win the large one. Yeah. Because all you gotta do is come by Listen Vision either Tuesday or Friday and just tell me that you were here, and I'll give you a medium one. But also to somebody to call in, somebody who's never won before.
J-Rock.
Can win a medium one. So we'll mail to you, or you can.
And for the call-ins, go ahead and call in. Go ahead and put the number up there. The number's 202-618-9399, 202-618-9399. And Stoner's on the side waiting to take your call. What's the caller? What's the number caller you want to be the winner?
The third.
The third caller.
But it can't be J-Rock.
Sorry, J-Rock.
First time winner. First
time winner. That's what they're saying. That's first time winner.
What's the number again?
And the number's 20. I was saying anyways, 202-618-9399. So go ahead and give a call, and the third person is the winner. And there it goes. The number's up there in chat. So anybody that wants to call in, anybody that's watching through Listen Vision, and
J-Rock said that's cold.
I know J-Rock, I fought for you, J-Rock. I fought for you, man. But yeah, go ahead and give us a call. And in the meantime, in between time, again, that's for the topical 2017 winning topical from Princess P, y'all. And where can the people follow you again?
At Cannabis DC or at Princess P Apothecary on Instagram and Facebook.
And please, people, make sure y'all give her a follow. And we setting the phone up now, waiting for it to ring. Ain't nobody calling. But somebody will call and somebody will win this. And in the meantime, in between time, we're going to take it. There you go.
There you go.
Phone ringing now. So with that being said, we're going to... Yeah, we're going to take a 1 minute break. Please keep calling in. We are taking your call. Stoner's taking your call right now. He's talking to people right now. And when we get back, we'll either have a winner. If not, we'll announce the winner when we do.
All right, y'all.
Is that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma
DC Pharma Show.
Is that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma. Che! Used to get my piece from AZ. Mary Jane is the case that they give me. Trips from the West Coast stop real fast. DC Pharma show the masses how to grow grass. Note to the method, be attentive, slow learner. The raw sheets turn that gas to a slow burner. Big worm got the strains in variety. Jeff Sessions trying to fuck up the society. Cannabis community, rise up, eyes up. Fight for your right to light or eye shut. Loud from the motherland. I'm getting high in stadium. Super gas, no clone, it grown with vibranium. Try coke chasers, council of the grower. Self-sufficiency, that's how we need our smokers. Alien dream turn Girl Scouts into soldiers. Smoking doja. Contact if you come closer. Every Monday, 10 to 11 p.m. Focus on that grow, watch the show with your BM. Comedy, but interviews real lit. The DC Pharma Show, educate real shit. The DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma Show. Is that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma Show. Is that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma Show. Is that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma Show.
I want to grow my own shit.
Is that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma
DC Pharma Show.
Is that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma. Che! Used to get my piece from AZ. Mary Jane is the case that they give me. Trips from the West Coast stop real fast. DC Pharma show the masses how to grow grass. Note to the method, be attentive, slow learner. The raw sheets turn that gas to a slow burner. Big worm got the strains in variety. Jeff Sessions trying to fuck up the society. Cannabis community, rise up, eyes up. Fight for your right to light or eye shut. Loud from the motherland. I'm getting high in stadium. Super gas, no clone, it grown with vibranium. Try coke chasers, council of the grower. Self-sufficiency, that's how we need our smokers. Alien dream turn Girl Scouts into soldiers. Smoking doja. Contact if you come closer. Every Monday, 10 to 11 p.m. Focus on that grow, watch the show with your BM. Comedy, but interviews real lit. The DC Pharma Show, educate real shit. The DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma Show. Is that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma Show. Is that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma Show. Is that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma Show. Smoking, breathe,
I want to grow my own shit.
Is that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma.
DC Pharma Show.
Is that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma.
All right, y'all. Look, listen up. We got a winner. And the winner is Star. And I believe she's in chat right now. That Star Delta 9. She is our winner for the night. Congratulations for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, Star, if you still listen, what I need you to do is you go to the Cannabis DC IG page and hit them up on their DM. Let them know, and they'll definitely take care of you. And with that being said, we're going to go to a video, and we're going to let our man go ahead and introduce his video right quick, and then we're going to come back and introduce Henny the Stoner and his whole crew, y'all.
First shout out DC Pharma, shout out. Shout out Henny the True Stoner. I go by High Class Quad C. We about to go in the video right here. It's called Bed Tastes Like Water. Produced by my man Trey Cores. High Class, we in here, Stoners.
Gang.
Yeah.
I want to grow my own shit.
Is that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma.
DC Pharma Show.
Is that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma, that DC Pharma. Used to get my piece from AZ. Mary Jane is the case that they gave me. Trips from the West Coast stop real fast. DC Pharma show the masses how to.
Musical genius. Musical genius. Musical genius.
Oh man. Oh, this shit tastes like it's water.
Spit tastes just like water. Yeah. Spit tastes just like water. Yeah. Spit tastes just like water. Yeah. Spit tastes just like. Spit tastes just like. Spit tastes just like water. Yeah. Images of your behind still dancing in my mind. So I go out and party hard. No love on that boulevard. No space, no playing cards. Beer pong in the big bong. Juicy booty in a pink thong. Yeah, hold up, I'm on one. Hold up, yeah. Say hold up, I'm on one. Hold up, yeah. People always talking with it.
All right, y'all. We had a little quick technical difficulties with the video right there, but y'all definitely get the point. That was definitely some fire. Y'all go check my man out on YouTube. Finish watching that video.
Quasi high class.
And with that being said, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the people?
What's good with y'all? I go by Henny the True Stoner, CEO Stoner World Order Stoner Gang Music. And we in the building just to represent Baltimore one time. Gang, gang.
Definitely. All the way from Baltimore came out here to show love to the DC
Said all the
Pharma
way.
Show.
Yeah,
Back,
45 minutes,
you
hour.
know. Hey, look, I say it
Down
like that.
295.
'Cause look, my sister stay out Baltimore, right? And I don't hardly go see it because I dread going that 295, man. I be like, man, look, sis, I'll catch up with you later.
I feel you, bro.
But you know, I definitely appreciate you coming show love with me tonight. And I've been seeing you blowing it up all through IG, so I had to reach out. I finally met up with you at one of DC Scroggers event, so I definitely had to reach out. So I got to have this dude on my show. I love your vibe. I love everything you're doing. So what I would call or consider you is it's like the entrepreneur of this cannabis industry right now. So whatever lane that's open, you just
He just jump in it, yo.
I swear, man.
Yo,
I be in it.
I've been following homie forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
He got a joint called Stoner Lane.
Look.
I rock this song in the morning when I wake up, boy. It get me ready for work. That's my shit.
Yeah. So how is that going for you, the music business? Because you're doing so much, so I don't even know where to start from. So how is the music concept of your career is doing, or how is that working out for you at the moment?
So personally, I don't say I take a break at this shit. I ain't gonna say I'm not serious with it, but I'm more business minded.
Mm-hmm.
So I know this shit costs. So I'm on that Diddy side. Let me build this empire and have the capital instead of getting fucked by getting signed. I can just fund everything my damn self.
Yeah, especially with the social media and everything that's going on now. To me, it don't even make no sense to even sign, especially with these 360 fuck deals that they got going on now. So,
yeah. So basically, what I'm trying to do to keep the music alive is linking up with artists that's hungry, that's real hungry, that's artist minded. You feel me? So I got, you heard Quasi rapping High Class. We got Yoko. We got Benny Hunt. We got a couple other dope artists that's a part of what we do, and I'm trying to brand them within what I do too. You know, within this cannabis stuff, because I'm letting them know this is new wave. A lot of people don't know that in the West Coast, it's like stoner music is a whole culture. That's a whole its own thing. You feel me? So I'm just trying to get them familiar. You feel me? They slow as fuck. But they gonna catch on, and when they catch on, we gonna be already there. Like
exactly, you already gonna be set up for it. You know what I mean? So, like, and from that point, you said you're doing all these other things. It's like you're doing a Diddy thing, in other words, meaning that you just hustling.
Man, I got so like he said, Stoner Lane. When Stoner Lane first came out in the studio, produced by my guy right here, Peso, it was just like a dance. You feel me? It was like a vibe. But then I was like, later on, I don't know. Before we did our first party, it became the drink. Then the drink became the lean product that I'm working on, you feel me? So that's basically, I'm trying to get that in dispensaries and all that other stuff. So it's beyond just making songs. I'm making songs with movements and shit that I can brand with stuff so it can be bigger than just me releasing a song. That's why I don't release too much music, because I don't feel like I'm just throwing away and nobody listening to it. And there's nothing getting done off of that. So that's
you're just trying to create a movement behind it for sure. Yeah, definitely. And with that lean, that's something that you also created on your own as well.
Yeah, I did a couple of my research, you feel me? YouTube, Google, whatever. Did a couple videos, watched what I needed to watch, and came up with my own little ingredients with what I think the people wanted, the people needed to get their vibes, you feel me? They come party up with me. So a lot of people like it. A lot of people in Baltimore love it. So that's like my events. Like they that's what they coming for.
Man, what a panda at, man?
The panda.
What
See, that's
a panda?
the thing though. Look. I'm gonna give y'all the panda story. So the reason why I had the panda mask in it, the whole music video, because I went to the barber, right? And he cut me up and he put some dye in my bed. And I was allergic to that shit. So it broke my face out. So I actually was in the hospital 3 weeks prior to that video, was face swollen in the emergency room. Like,
oh, man.
Yeah, like just pussing out, coming out. That shit was nasty. So I already booked the video, had everything set, and the shit was going down, but it was kind of still leaking. So the chick was like, yo, you gonna keep the mask on? I'm like, hell yeah. So we rocked the mask the whole time, and people loved it. But then everybody was like, yo, come to my event with the mask on. Like, ain't really supposed to bend that for me. I understand. People like, you can make money from that, but I'm like, that's not really.
It turned into its own thing.
It turned into its own thing. So now that's the logo, that's the wave and everything. But in my mind, I would like to have a person who wear it, and he can be the panda.
Right.
Honestly, I like to wear it sometimes too, but I don't want to be the guy that always getting booked for that shit.
I know it's probably hot as shit in that motherfucker too.
I smoke that bitch down, man. Smoke that bitch down.
Man, fuck it, I'll be the pain.
They
Fuck
got
it.
mouthpiece in that. They got a little mouthpiece in this shit. Everything. I smoke that bitch down. Nice. Took that bitch to Boston. Last time I had out was we went to Boston Freedom Rally, and I walked around Boston Freedom Rally with it. Guy. People love it. I go to when I go out of state, I wear it and people love it. That's how I get a lot of all my jackets. I ain't got one on today, but I got a designer Daisy Black. She makes some fire jackets. Bro.
So how is the cannabis scene in Baltimore? Like how is it the police still fucking with people, or is it real receptive now?
See, honestly, I say to myself and what I focus on, which is like just pushing the culture forward. So I know people get fucked with.
Right,
it's like,
right.
Beyond that, it was like, let's get beyond that. So it was like, come out, be vocal about this shit. Like Strong said, like, hey, go to the police station. Nah, we here. Like in numbers, man, we can do a lot of shit in numbers. So that's what I'm trying to get people to understand. Is like, beyond that shit, stop being fearful. Like if you smoking and you not promoting the benefits of it, not that you just smoking, but why you smoke. Like what does cannabis do for you? Like
exactly.
Maybe you got anxiety or depression, or you can't eat or something. Let people know that a lot of people got those problems. You feel me? But they don't want to put that out there, and they think it's a drug instead of medicine.
And I agree with you, man. It's no point in hiding anymore. No more to be like, oh man, take the stigmatism out of it. You know what I'm saying? Educate the people about the plant.
Yes,
and
sir.
that's what I be trying to do now. Like people look at me like, oh man, you just trying to hustle this or hustle that. And like, nah, this plant really has medicinal value, and it's also helping, especially with the opioid crisis going on now, man. So it's also helping, man.
Yeah, it's bad in Baltimore heavy. So
I'm just saying. So with that being said, like I know you throw a lot to events. Out here, it's on and off out here. We get fucked with sometimes. Sometimes they don't.
I see that shit.
So, how is it out there in Baltimore when you do your events and stuff like that? Is there a concern for you?
Yeah and no. So basically, my only concern is if someone within the network leaks something out to someone who ain't supposed to get the shit.
Right.
That's basically all. You feel me? Other than that, I don't have too much concerns because the way I move, I know on my end, I try to cover every aspect of some shit. You feel me? So it's cool. I thought event we Gucci. We it's all love. You feel me? I don't know about other people, but we good where we at.
And now I know we was talking earlier off camera. I know you had your like I said, I'll be following you, man. So I see you got your podcast or something of the sorts. Can you explain that to us?
So we started our own podcast in Baltimore. I ain't gonna say one of the first, but what I'm trying to get at is gonna be one of the main cannabis podcasts in Baltimore, in Maryland. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what we're pushing for. But I got my business partner, Sean, Founded by Greatness. Me, him, EJ, Civil Wrongs. We linked up. Try to do this for the community. Our main mission is to build group economics. So within what we do, we're gonna do a lot of community, a lot of promoting, a lot of community events, promoting a lot of small black businesses. Dig deep into even like I had a thought today, like in Baltimore, we got a lot of squeegee board boys. So I'm like, I want to talk to them and be like what's going on with you, and how can, if this is what y'all gonna do, this is what y'all hustle, how can we make y'all look more professional at what y'all do? Maybe get y'all some shirts, get y'all a table, get y'all some signs, instead of y'all just looking too aggressive. Y'all more professional with it. Like
that entrepreneurship is a big deal, you know, and showing them a different way to do things.
There you go, because you can do that, but let's go a little different route about how you do that. Let's think about like
actually turning it to the hustle. You know what I'm saying? You know,
so as more professional people.
Exactly.
I see what you're doing is for a purpose. Instead of they think you probably just out there hustling. Who knows? But if you go out there with a purpose and dress and look yourself, clean it up a little bit, you can actually. I can see that being something the little guys can make some money off.
Anything, you make a hell of a point. Anything that you might that one person might think is small minded, it's really not, man. You turn that shit into a business, man. So it's that simple. Just clean it up a little bit, just like you said, man.
So hopefully, also, you know, if Baltimore can get there with growing, you know, we can get more people into, you know, that connection with the food. You know, Baltimore definitely has food deserts for sure.
Yeah. So we got a lot of
farmers got going on too.
Yeah, we got a lot of. I know KC. He runs Fix Baltimore. He also has a couple gardens in Baltimore too, where every Sunday he do a community event where this is the dopest thing I've seen. He plant flowers and potholes. And then people will call like it's a flower in the pothole. And then they come fix the pothole. But they don't call.
That is ingenious.
Man,
right.
That's
absolutely
KC.
Ingenious.
His name KC. His organization called Fix Baltimore. Like I say, he do an event every Sunday noon at 208 South Pulaski Street. And he's a dope guy to know. He's all for the community. And like I said, he's a genius for that.
Very smart.
Definitely. Look, man, we could talk all day. Look like we running low on time. But why don't you go ahead and let the people know where they can reach you, reach your whole crew, and everything you got going again.
Can the crew get a quick shout out real quick? Who got the mic over there? Y'all got the mic out?
Yeah. Who got the
Take
mic?
the mic out. Take the mic.
Take this jump.
Go around. Somebody put the mic in their pocket. You can follow me. I go by Henny the True Stoner. You can
There you
follow
go.
me at Henny the True Henny the True Stoner, Stoner Gang Music.
And definitely check out his IG. It's a fun page. It'll definitely keep you entertained. It's never boring. And like I said, good info, fun info, memes, all that. Go follow his page, man.
And let's shout the gang out. Go ahead, Peso.
Yeah, my name Peso. You can follow me on IG at SG Peso, engineer, producer. Pass it off to my nigga right here.
Yeah, Trey Chords, engineering and producer. You can holler at me at TRE Trey Chords of MG on the on the IG, on Twitter, on all that good stuff.
Yeah, shout out that Baltimore and that Ghana. You can follow me on all that KWASI_HY capital GH. All that good music, all that. Yogi about to come out, right? You can stand right there for real.
Oh damn, it's the camera and shit. What's up, y'all? I didn't, but since we here,
Hey, look, he got
this
you
my
with
girl
the song.
Benny. She not here right now, but we holding it down for sis. This is song Get Your 92 Qs on the Hooligan Express. Go watch that. But yeah, I'm Yoko McThuggin, YOKO, MC Thuggin on everything. Check me out.
You came just in time for me.
What's up? It's your boy.
Got you feeling these vibes, and you looking real fine. Let's take a pic, fuck around and post that shit.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's your boy Sean. You can find me at _ Mr. FBG _ Gang.
Gang.
Oh, we was spoke. Got an event coming up, Puffin Poetry, June 28th. Come vibe. Come dope artists coming through. Come vibe.
Private location.
Yeah,
Baltimore.
yeah.
That's all
See,
I'm saying.
that's why. That's the way we move.
All right. And that's it, right?
You ready? That's the crew?
I was a
my
crew.
bad. I zoned out. I was reading the chat, man.
We thought the song was about to come back on.
And shout out to the chat too, man. Shout out to the chat for tuning in tonight, and thanks for y'all showing your love to my guest tonight for sure. If we could close out with the song. Go ahead, Jay. Let us out with the song, and thanks everybody for coming out, and stay tuned for. Hold up, y'all. Hold up. Hey, Jay, hold up before you go to the video. Big Worm, about your competition, because next week that's the last week,
so
right?
we're giving it away next week. The link, I actually kept the link live. I can't put it up in the chat. The link is the same link. I'll get it up in the chat. The computer's down at the moment, but you can go ahead and still sign up. We're giving away the Chapman 1949 next week. We'll be drawing live on the air all the entries, so get your entries in, man.
So make sure you get your entries in. If you haven't done it yet, get them in now, because next week is actually the giveaway date.
Yep, it's the last time to get them in.
Y'all
So go ahead and play us out with that video, Jay, and we done for the night. See y'all next week, y'all.
All right, y'all. Cannabis
Gang, gang.
DC.
First off, can't play me, I ain't no Xbox. I'm pulling up, busting windows. I'm at your mama's spot, kicking cups, smacking dice. I'll make this block hot, no trapping here, slacking where? Wait, get your home right. I'm sick and tired of fucking crying, a sleepless night. Bitches approaching me, telling me they don't know of me. Oh, you think you slick, you think you got one up. You better ask my last nigga, cut his ass right up, yeah. Can't cry over spilled milk if I knew it was rotten. And all these memories we had, they was quickly forgotten. Oh, this nigga think he's smooth, he tryna cast it over me.